A significant betrayal in our marriage came to mind when someone called me last week. The tale is entirely fictional, including consenting adults' intimacy. Being cautious isn't just about self-care. It's also about safeguarding yourself from others' recklessness. Toba, Beta Ian, and Brody sat at their kitchen table. Married for 23 years with college-going children, each was fit and attractive at 46. They looked forward to their upcoming freedom and new adventures with some saved coins. Beside Ian's right elbow lay a large envelope. "Brody, I'm your man, right?" he asked. "Of course, Ian, since 11th grade, and you'll always be my one and only. No urge to stray now that the kids are gone. You're beautiful. I see others looking at you. Don't be silly, Ian, with you, I have everything I want and more. Why ask such a question? Found someone else, have you? No way. I'm a one-lover man, and you've always been my one and only. Well then, lad, why don't we leave it at that? Take me upstairs and show me how much you appreciate your woman. Perhaps my love. But first, scroll back through your call history. Have you done so in the last week? Only if I'm looking for a number I can't remember, not likely otherwise. Why do you ask? Could you take your phone and go back to last Sunday around 4 o'clock in the afternoon? As I recall, you left at 3 o'clock to run some errands and said you'd be home by 6 o'clock. Brody fidgeted in her chair, surprise and fear flashing across her face. Why is this such a big deal, lover? I don't remember calling or texting you or anyone else during that time. Come on. Baby, take me upstairs and give me what I want. Indulge me for a minute, honey. Look at your phone. Okay, but you're not setting yourself up for a passionate night. It's more like dousing a hot fire with water to douse the flames. Brody flipped through her call history and suddenly gasped. "Oh no," she said in a barely audible whisper. "I assume you saw my call, which lasted 28 minutes and 14 seconds. As it turned out, it was the longest 28 minutes of my life. I don't know if you're familiar with the term kicking ass, honey, but that's exactly what you did when you had sex with your boss." At first, I was so caught off guard that I just sat there listening, frozen. After a moment, it dawned on me that recording you both would probably be a good idea. Brody's eyes widened with fear, and she began to realize that her smug little world might come crashing down. "Please no, Ian, let me explain." "Sure, honey. Let's just listen for a few minutes. I think you can handle it since I've endured this whole episode." Placing the phone on the table, he pressed the play button. There was a muffled gurgling sound for a moment, and then voices came on. "Make love to me, Brody." There were tears in Brody's eyes as the tape continued for the next couple minutes. It was the same, but then the rhythm changed. "Come on. Baby, lie on your back and let me do what you want." Gasps and heavy breathing followed. This was soon followed by the distinct sounds of undressing. "How much time do you have, Brody? I want to make love to you all day. When did you tell your little hubby you were coming home? Don't worry, kid. I won't be back until 6, and he trusts me completely. He has no idea how well his loving wife is getting loved by her swaggering boss. I love having sex in your car. It's so dirty. Come on, big boy, make love to me." I can't believe he's so naive. We've been doing this for 3 years, and he still doesn't get it. I know how to keep him in place, lover. He'll never know, the cheaters hissed, correcting their positions. Ian decided that was enough and turned it off. "Well, my dear, it looks like we won't be going upstairs today or ever again, Brody." Sobbing, Brody tried to find the words, but they weren't coming. "Come on, Brody, don't worry. Like you said, it's Keith's body, not mine. Obviously, you want him to be your lover, not me. No need to cry." Brody began to catch her breath, looking at her husband. "No, Ian, I love you. I only said it at the time. It means nothing to me, just a wild affair. That's all." "Well, my wife, I don't think 3 years of outright betrayal can be considered an affair. As for love, I know you like what I provide. And I know you love your children. I know you love the country club, the gold American Express card I pay for, and the beautiful red Lexus RX 350 I gave you for our last anniversary. Now I know why you love a job you don't want. But please, stop insulting my intelligence and be truthful. There is no room in your heart for love for me, not the kind of love shared by one man and one woman for a lifetime. I love you, Ian, but it was an idiotic choice on my part. The kids were getting older and I felt lost. Keith just jumped in when I was weak. I'll break up with him tonight. I swear. I won't, Brody, and seriously, cut the crap. Your carelessness is the only reason we're having this conversation. Careless with the phone, but infinitely more careless with my love and our marriage. I was gullible, obviously too gullible, but no more. Now, I will only proceed with extreme caution when it comes to you. Finishing his comments, he placed the envelope on the table. What's this? Asked Brody, recoiling as if from a poisonous snake. It's my first step toward caution, self-preservation, and caution. Tell me that I should get as far away from you as possible. These are divorce papers. I thought about filing them at work, but you shouldn't think me soft-hearted. I figured I'd show more dignity than you've shown me in the last 3 years and hand them to you in the privacy of my home. No, Ian, please no, exclaimed Brody. She was about to continue, but he interrupted her. Yes, Brody, emphatically yes. I will never be a willful sycophant or allow myself such disrespect. I don't believe for the world that you could have thought things could turn out differently. Maybe Keith was your first, maybe he was one of dozens over the years. I don't know, and not to be unsubstantiated, I don't care. He was the only one, Ian. You have to believe that. Before him, there was only you. Brody, listen to me carefully. I have no reason to believe a cheat and liar like you, but like I said, I don't care. My life will not be dictated and controlled by a selfish cheater who spits on my love and my trust. Get a lawyer and hope for the best. But it's over between us. Brody's anguish began to turn to anger. I'm not going to walk away and sign those pathetic papers, Ian. I will fight this to the last man. I will not become a divorced woman after 23 years of a beautiful marriage. This is my home, you are my husband, and I will fight for my life, for our life together. Do as you see fit, Brody, but let me caution you first. Your parents and our children know what happened, so you're going to be busy trying to explain yourself to them. I've spoken to all of them today. Secondly, the house was mine before we were married. It was inherited from my grandfather and belongs to me alone. You have no rights to my premarital property. Third, Keith's wife Carol is probably having a similar conversation with her loving husband right now, since I gave her a copy of this tape. Perhaps you two can live together. And finally, you've probably forgotten about the prenup we both signed all those years ago. I've updated it all these years out of caution, of course. There are no loopholes in it. Cheating means the unfaithful partner gets nothing, 0000000. I have enclosed a copy for your attorney's review. I have booked and paid for 1 week at the Hilton Garden Hotel near your office for 1 week. You may use the car I have provided you after that. You will have to pick up the payments if you want to keep it, since it is in my name. I will pay the penalty and give up the lease. Now, I suggest you go pack. Brody was at a loss for words, shocked at how in an instant her rogue chickens had come home. Ian stayed at the table while his soon-to-be ex-wife went upstairs. 30 minutes later, she came downstairs with 2 large suitcases. Brody, you can call and set up a time to come back and pick up other things you think you'll need. We don't have anything in common that I'm going to leave behind. I'll make sure I won't be home when you get here. Is that all, Ian? Nothing more to say in 23 years? Well, Brody, if you do find some sucker who wants to get you, next time you be less reckless and more careful. The end. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you.